Welcome to Stocks and Screens. So usually we bring on a member from our Pennybois Stock Alerts Discord and kind of go over a little interview, see how their trading journey has gone, and then talk about screens being, of course, TV, their favorite movie or their favorite video game. Going forward, we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to be having reoccurring guests. They're going to be Amy and Oasis, both of whom have done a Stocks and Screens in the past, so you already know a lot about them. And then JamesLegends will be our third reoccurring guest. So as you know, Oasis is a day trader and a scalping specialist. Amy is a crypto analyst when it comes to cryptocurrency, and JamesLegends is our options shot caller. So he does calls and puts and options contracts. So when I have them on with Amy, we'll be talking about the crypto news, what's going on in the world of cryptocurrency. With Oasis, we'll be going over some day trading strategies and some stocks to look for this week. And then, of course, with James, we'll be talking about how options work and maybe some option plays to look at for the week. And then we wrap it up with our screens portion where we talk about the current TV shows that are popular or some movies that are coming out or even a popular video game or even YouTube, what's going on in the YouTube world, like with Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and bring JamesLegends on. We're going to do a little interview. This is going to be our last traditional Stocks and Screens with the interview as opposed to kind of going over what is happening in the market currently for the stocks portion. This way you can kind of get to know who JamesLegends is since we already did one with Amy and Oasis. So that's enough from me. Let's go ahead and get right into the interview.
What's going on, stock traders? I'm What the Duck from Pennybois Stock Alerts. I'm here with JamesLegends, one of our options alerters, actually. We'll get into that in a little bit. What's going on, James? How you doing?
Hey, Duck. Good to be here. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for asking. Just like me, you start off as a member here at Pennybois, so we're trying to get some different point of views for the people watching. Maybe people who are traders, trying to look to get into the stock market. Maybe people who've been doing this and looking for more, more tips, more tricks, more help. But so basically, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. James, how long have you been trading?
I have been trading since 2015, so about maybe 5.5 years. I started out really just trading on and off. I wasn't really like a full-time trader. I would just do some swing trades here and there, maybe do a couple of investments. It's only really since the past 3 years that I've really been trading full-time.
So you've been trading now for 3 years full-time, and I'm assuming you've been trading on your own then way before Pennybois, and Pennybois has only been...
I was also lucky enough to have a awesome mentor that I actually met doing a job when I used to work for a cable company, and he used to work on Wall Street, and he taught me a ton of what I know now. We used to just talk on the phone every single day, teach me like what's going on with the price action. He taught me about options too, actually, so it was very helpful. And that's really actually when I decided that I wanted to do this for a living, because it seemed like something I knew and understood, and I also have a lot of fun doing it.
So what led you to join Pennybois Stock Alerts, and how long have you been here?
Well, I joined Pennybois back in April of 2020, so it's been about a year now since I've been in the group, actually. And the reason I joined is because I was looking for more trade ideas than what I could just find myself. And also, I was looking to find like an actual community that I could, bounce ideas off of and talk to people. And I had been in other Discords before. It really wasn't a great experience in any of those other Discords, honestly. But Pennybois really, hit it right on the dot with the people and the experience and the learning here. Because I still had a lot to learn when I joined here. And truthfully, in the past year, I've actually learned a lot. Even compared to those 3 years, I've learned a ton in the past year just being in Pennybois. So it's been really beneficial for me.
Everyone here watching or listening knows about this, but you actually were the first ever, or are the first ever Pennybois University guide.
Yeah, that's right. I remember back when I was, not a Pennybois guide. I was nothing. I actually started my first month in April, and I was just answering some people's questions, and you actually came to me and you said, hey, I could see you have some knowledge about stocks. Would you like to be a guide? And obviously I took the position because I would be more than happy to do something like that. And then actually a little later on, Austin was looking for an assistant to help him look up different information about different stocks and stuff like that. And so I took that role on, and I was here for maybe, I think about 6 or 7 months doing that. And then Austin asked me if I wanted to be a option caller here, and I graciously accepted.
So, she do option alerts. So what led you to trading options? So I know that's a lot different than just trading stocks or...
So the reason I like options is because I can trade stocks that aren't penny stocks and make the same percentage of gain that someone would make trading a penny stock. That's really what appeals to me, because I could trade a stock like Apple. I could buy Apple calls or Apple puts and make maybe 20-30% on those, or I could trade a penny stock that's worth $1 and maybe it gets to $1.20 and sell it for 20%. Which one would I rather do? I'd obviously rather be trading those bigger stocks that are a little more solid and I feel a little safer in them. So in terms of percentage gain, I enjoy options because of that, because I could make high percentages on, blue chip stocks or stocks that are more solid than if I had to buy penny stocks to make those gains. And also, it's just something that I've always been interested in, the options, because of how much you can make on them. Obviously, you could lose a lot on them too, so it's a very risky thing. I always say options is like the Wild West, because high risk, high reward, right?
So how did you, what was the first thing you started learning when it came to options trading? Like, was it about the Greeks? Was it about implied volatility, or just, how the premium works and all that, or just all the...
The first thing I ever learned on options that my mentor actually taught me back in the day was about the premiums. He taught me how to spot if I was buying a premium too high, or if a premium was cheaper than it should be. He helped me spot that. He taught me about like implied volatility and stuff like that.
Nice. So these are all things you go over during your Sunday streams, right?
Yep. Every Sunday I do a Q&A. People could just ask me any question they want to ask me about options or just stocks in general, and I answer.
And is that that's on our Discord, our Facebook?
Yep, that's in our Discord. In the lounge.
Now you're the mentor, as opposed, we're all learning, obviously, every day. But now you're mentoring people after, kind of came full circle for you there.
Yeah, it's pretty surreal to me. When I started, I never thought that I'd be somebody that people actually look to for answers about stuff. But it's pretty cool, and I'm happy that I have the knowledge and I'm able to actually answer people's questions. So it's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know I personally have asked you questions before about options, which is why I'm looking forward to the advanced trading classes that you're doing for the options trading.
Yep, we're going to be talking about different types of option strategies, a lot of advanced strategies, different types of spreads, iron condors. So yes, it's definitely going to be pretty advanced, because the options we'll be talking about are going to have probably 3 to 5 legs each. It'll be a cool experience.
So speaking of, you having a mentor and now being a mentor, all coming for a full circle, if you could go back in time, when you first started trading options or just trading in general, what would you tell yourself other than buying, stock XYZ?
Other than buying GameStop, I would tell myself when I first started not to trade them too heavily. That's honestly what I would tell myself. I would say, listen, James, you don't know a lot about these options yet. Maybe you think you do, but you really don't. Instead of buying multiple contracts on stuff, just buy one contract for now. Watch the prices of the contracts move. This is how you learn price action on options. There's no better way than literally throwing yourself into the fire and watching it, because when you do that, you're focused on it and you see the stock price moving, and you watch the option price move in consistency with the stock price. So that's really what I would tell myself, is don't go too heavy in them, because to be honest, when I first started with options, I did lose a lot of money, as most people do when they start trading options, because they are a very risky field, and you come out of trading shares and you think, maybe I'll lose 5%, 3%, whatever it is, and then you end up losing 50% or maybe even 100%, because these contracts are very volatile. So that's really what I would just tell myself, is play it safe to begin, and when you are finally confident in your abilities and confident in your knowledge, then you could start buying multiple contracts.
That's definitely smart, basically, just starting off small, because like you're saying, a lot of people start off in the stock market, they think I can do this will be easy, put too much in, and anyone who starts off in the stock market, they lost money, and it's a lot easier to dig yourself out of a $100 hole or $1,000 hole than a $10,000 or $20,000, $50,000 hole, So that's definitely true. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the listeners, to the current members, maybe the potential members, is anyone, stock traders?
I guess what I would want to say to them is, right now you may be struggling a little bit with the market right now, and that's okay, because everybody struggles at some point. We had a great couple of months recently. Right now the market's a little out of whack. Nobody knows where to put their money right now. You'll see the days years where we have the S&P going up, the Dow going down, the NASDAQ trading sideways, something like that, right? So don't lose your motivation to do this. Also, when you're doing this, you have to make sure that you are having fun, because if you aren't having fun while you're doing this, you should not do it. If you're somebody who's, anxious about losing the money or anything like that, you really shouldn't do it. You have to control those emotions, because when you lose money, it's very easy to lose more money when you get mad or when you get upset, and then you trade and you're revenge trading. So you don't want to do that. So just keep those emotions intact and trade smart. Right now I would say with everything, maybe just add small on things and take those small gains. Take those 5%, 10% gains on options, because it's worth it to just take the profit rather than letting the profit slip away.
That's definitely so smart. Just trade psychology is such a huge part of trading, and be able to handle your emotions, manage them, even just identifying them. This is the first step, and realize oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm revenge trading. Oh, that's why I'm losing. I'm doing this. And a lot of people just don't realize that, which is why we actually do have a month and a half of trading psychology courses in Pennybois University. But speaking of courses and learning, after this interview, we are going to go ahead and do a video on the Greeks. We'll be playing back a little watch party, one of our Greeks videos. Do you personally use the Greeks in options trading? And if you do, which ones do you use and why?
Yes, of course, I use the Greeks. The most important Greeks to me are delta and theta. The reason for that is delta tells me what my option price is going to be at said stock price, right? And then theta is important because that tells me how much my option's going to decay as the days go by. Everything else is important. Implied volatility is obviously important. If implied volatility is really high, that means that the market's expecting a big move in the stock. So if you buy when the implied volatility is really high, you could end up losing money because the consensus of the market goes down, and then you lose that implied volatility and your premium goes down on the contract as well. But I would say the most important things to me are delta and theta, because those tell me what the price of my option is going to be.
Awesome, yeah. And if for those of you listening who are curious about what that means, like I said, we will be playing a video kind of going over all that in depth. And of course, if that's not enough, then you can definitely join our join our Discord, join Pennybois, and get in on those Sunday streams with Mr. James Legends, the legendary options player.
Yes, maybe I'll actually do one in the free live stream chat next time.
There we go. Yeah. Never heard. Yeah, we have a bunch of free classes and we do a lot of free streams. So it would definitely be cool to have you in there with all the free members in our Discord. But no, I appreciate you. I know you're really busy. Trying to find plays to make money for all these all our members. So I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day and talking to me, doing this interview, and just really do appreciate it.
Well, of course, I always have time for you.
Thank you, Mr. J. That's James Legends, the first ever Pennybois University guide and our current options alerter. Thank you, James.
No problem. Thank you.
So now we are on to the screens part of the interview. So James Legends, like I was saying before, is going to be one of our reoccurring guests as far as the Stocks and Screens episodes goes. And we'll be talking about stocks, of course, like the current news, maybe some stocks that, James, Amy, or Oasis are looking at, or maybe some earning plays that they might be looking for. Whatever is going on in the market, we're going to talk about it. And then we will segue into the screens portion where we talk about one of the upcoming video games or a TV show that just came out on Netflix or Hulu or any of those streaming services, or maybe even a movie, one of the newer movies coming out, like I know right now Cruella is the one that everyone's talking about, but there's a whole bunch of movies out there coming out now that the things are reopening. So James, what should we talk about today? What is going on in the video game, TV show, or movie world?
Well, as far as video games go, there's actually this really cool looking game coming out called Elden Ring. I believe it's going to be for the newer systems. I don't think they're going to have it on the older ones, which is unfortunate since it's so hard to actually get one of those newer systems right now. But so Elden Ring, it's coming out. I don't think there's a release date yet, but it does look a lot like Dark Souls, basically, except it's more open world, and that really excites me because, I love Dark Souls, but I also love games like Skyrim, and I feel like they're kind of bringing those two together and taking the best aspects of both games. You could ride a horse in this game where, you couldn't do that in Dark Souls. It's also open world. You go around. The magic looks a little better too, actually. So, and actually there is a release date. It's going to be January 2022.
2022. Okay. Wow. Yeah. So it's an RPG game, open world. So you said it's kind of like Skyrim meets Dark Souls?
Yeah. That would be a basic way of looking at it, yeah.
And what are you planning on getting on? It looks like they have the Xbox Series, PS5, Xbox One, PS4, PC.
Well, once I can actually get my hands on a PS5, then I'm going to get it on PS5.
Okay.
For sure.
And this game, Elden Ring, is this going to be an online game or is it like a one-player kind of deal?
I am 99% sure it is multiplayer. Yeah, it's like, it's not like a massive multiplayer game where you're in the world and you're in there with everybody else, but I feel like it's going to be like you could invite somebody to your world, and I think that makes it even better because when you don't have that massive online presence, the combat in the game can actually be better. And it just seems that that's how it is because all these massive online games have kind of crappy combat as compared to single-player games.
Right, because they have to make up with, what they might lack in the graphics or, the actual gameplay as opposed, because they're spending so much time worrying about the online portion, right? Any other video games that you've been, maybe playing or been, hearing about that might be coming out soon? They're brand new.
Honestly, it's kind of old, but I've been playing The Last of Us Part 2 a little bit here and there.
Is that a zombie game or?
Yeah, it's zombies. It's like you're in Last of Us Part 2, you're this girl, right? And it's like you have to just go on this adventure through the apocalyptic world, and that's pretty much what it is.
And how does that one work? Is this going to be a open world, or is that more like a kind of closed in, like storyline?
I've been playing it here and there when I do have the time.
On the PS4 or?
Yeah, PS4.
Okay, so yeah, you must be excited to get the PS5. Do those games like transfer over when you get the PS5, or you get to get all new games?
Well, if you get the disc version of the PS5, then you can use your PS4 discs, or if you own any of the games digitally, so I'm pretty sure you could just re-download them to the PS5 because you own them already on your PlayStation account.
So that's the video games. What else is going on in the screens world? I know for TV, I don't know if you watched it yet. I remember last time we talked, you were talking about how you're into Marvel and superhero, the TV shows and the movies. Have you seen any of Loki yet?
No, I actually haven't watched Loki. I know the next thing I'm waiting for with Marvel is the new Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah, that's the movie, right? Was it Into the Spider-Verse or no? Is it No Way Home?
I think it's No Way Home.
No Way Home, right? You think that they're gonna?
I heard this crazy rumor that there was supposed to be all three Peter Parkers on it, but I don't think it's true.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. If you don't think it's gonna happen?
No, I don't think so. That seems unrealistic, honestly.
Yeah, I saw like a video, like an interview of Andrew Garfield talking about that, and he was pretty adamant that he's not in it, and like it's not happening.
I mean, he could be lying. That's probably what people think, but I don't think so.
I don't know if do you watch any of the DC TV shows like Arrow or Supergirl or what is it, The Flash?
I've seen episodes of those shows, but I've never actually watched the whole things.
Gotcha. Well, not to do a big spoiler, but I feel like if you haven't watched it yet, you're probably not going to end up. It's like I'm talking like this is like season 4 or 5 or whatever. But I believe they have like a cameo of. Have you watched Smallville before, or you know about Smallville?
Yes, Smallville. Yes. I went through that entire thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the Superman from Smallville was actually like they went to his Smallville universe. Like they're doing the whole multiverse thing too in those TV shows. And then also the one from Superman Returns. I think was also he portrayed his version of Superman. It was pretty cool. So they had they had both the Flashes the TV show and the movie version together. So I feel like maybe Marvel. This might be their way of combating that by putting Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire all in one film. I think that'd be cool. I would want even more though. Instead of having any of them in it, I think that'd be cool to have some of the villains from the other universes come in there.
That would make even more sense too.
Right, like Green Goblin, he played that. He played the part perfectly. I don't know if he'd be able to come back and do that again, but it'd be pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, that was James Franco, right?
Yeah, well...
The other guy, I forget his name, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure he's dead.
I'm pretty sure, too. So maybe James Franco could do it. I know he played the son.
And then he also played the Green Goblin in another one, didn't he?
Yeah, in the third one, I believe. So you haven't seen Loki yet, though?
No, I have not.
It's worth watching. I've seen the first 2 episodes. If you've seen Endgame and Ragnarok and all the Thor films, I'm so far really impressed with all these new Disney Plus TV shows. I think they've definitely done a very good job of turning it into a TV show, but still having the whole MCU flair to it as well. I guess if that makes sense. WandaVision was just great, and Winter Soldier was great as well. And now I really do recommend Loki.
No, I definitely need to get around to getting Disney Plus. I feel like part of the reason I
haven't is because I know that I'm going to waste my life away.
Yeah, that happened to me as soon like I got it. I'm like, oh wait, they have all the Marvel films, and I'm just like, wait a second, where did time go? Any other TV shows or movies that you've been looking at or looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, do you want to talk about the new Rick and Morty?
So it's on YouTube. I just heard about that like an hour ago. Like I don't know where the hell I've been, but like I've already watched all of them up until that. Did you watch it, the new one?
Yeah, I've actually watched it 3 times.
Really, I'm about to do that as soon as we're done with this. Honestly,
I watched it with my friends, and then I watched it with more friends, and then I watched it with my brother. So
that's awesome. Is it amazing?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty amazing. I don't want to give too many spoilers because it is pretty new. It was just a fantastic episode.
And
I don't know how they're gonna top it.
And it is on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube for free right now. I don't know how long it's gonna last.
Oh, I gotta take advantage of that. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea that they were just doing that. I wonder if the second episode is gonna be free as well, if they're gonna start putting it on like some random other, streaming service.
I think that I saw something that said they're gonna do it for all of them, so that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you gotta go on, you gotta either buy it or maybe on adultswim.com.
Yeah.
But I think actually, you know what, because I went on adultswim.com and it wasn't on there, so maybe they did just say, you know what, screw it, let's throw it on YouTube instead.
Have you been to the movie theater since, COVID and all that?
No, you know what, I haven't. I've been saying that I want to go to the movies too, but I haven't gone.
Yeah, I have yet to as well. Cruella, because I have Disney Plus, like I bought it. I figured like, I could go into the movie theater and spend this and that. Yeah, they're making it too late. Literally, I was like, it's the same price, and I can just sit at home and like watch it and do whatever I want. I can pause it.
Yeah, you can sit at home and have as many people as you want watching.
That's a good point too. Yeah, it's like the pay-per-view thing with like the bars where they have to pay like per head or whatever. You're right. Like, yeah, in theory, like it would have cost, two or 3 or 4 people. It would have cost a couple 4 tickets. That adds up as opposed to just like the $20. You get it for Disney Plus. So
and you split that between the 4 people that would normally be paying like $80 altogether, and now they're all just paying $5.
Yet AMC is still going to the moon, huh?
AMC, that's hilarious, actually. Yeah, no, I mean, they're screwing over the movie theaters by doing that, because a lot of people are just going to say, you know what, I don't even want to go.
Yeah, and it's the big companies too, like Disney and Amazon Prime, Amazon, that they have money to throw around. Like even Netflix has, some good money to throw around as well. So they can definitely make a push to kind of make the theaters like obsolete almost, or at least like close to.
Yeah, but, unless maybe it's possible that some of the movies will be movie theater exclusive for a while.
Right, that's what they need to do, honestly. I think with Cruella, it was just because it was made by Disney. I don't know if that's going to be a thing going forward, but like Disney has Marvel and Star Wars. Like, if any of those things come out, like they're going to probably put it on Disney Plus as well. So
yeah, well, if they put the Avengers or something like that, I guess Avengers is over, right? But if they put any of those Marvel movies in the theaters and on Disney Plus at the same time, they're making a huge mistake.
I wonder if they're because they're definitely not getting every single penny from having it on sending it to a theater, and because the theater has to pay their employees and this and that, so they get cuts and this all that stuff happens. I wonder if it does actually make more sense for them financially just to do it themselves, and just charge a flat fee.
I think so, because remember, like the movie company makes money from the box office, right? So like they always say, oh yeah, we did $100 million in the box office. They're not going to do $100 million on Disney Plus.
No, that definitely makes sense. You're right. So hopefully theaters do make that comeback, and AMC goes to $100, $1,000, $10,000, or whatever everyone's new price target is nowadays. I can't keep up.
Right? How about some other movie theater stocks though? Cinemark, I believe.
Yeah? That's like they're publicly traded?
Yeah.
Cinemark.
CNK is the ticker. Yep.
CNK. I wonder if that might end up being the next big squeeze. If it is, you heard it here first.
Yeah, right. No, they're going after. They're saying that they're going after that Torch, but I don't know how well that's going to work out.
Torch.
They did an offering today and everything.
Oh.
They were doing Torch. They were doing. I mean, all the shorted stocks actually were going pretty well today. So it was probably just a nice short squeeze day in the market, kind of.
It's funny how this is normal now,
Yeah, it is. It's actually crazy because the market turned into a meme.
Yeah, and like it stayed that way though. It wasn't like a day or two or a week or a month. Like it's still doing. Like it's still it. It's still a meme, like you said.
Yeah, it actually. I feel like it kind of. It's cool, but it also kind of ruined the market in a way too.
Well, yeah, because a lot of big money, they're obviously making money on all of this, but they're definitely trading differently than they have in the past, before.
Yeah,
Wall
you know what?
Street
That's
bets.
all it is. You know what? They didn't ruin it. They just changed it. It's just like you got to just adapt to how it is now.
Yeah, it's a whole new online world, I guess, now in the stock market. But yeah, thank you for coming on, and I'll see you either next episode or hopefully the one after that.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me.
All right.